Holy shrimp, dude. Jack and I were recording gameplay for this video, right? And unfortunately we got Nuketown. I was pushing up trying to rush route that would inevitably lead to my demise, and all of a sudden I hear Jack freaking out in the background. Oh my gosh, I didn't think I would hit that. Oh my gosh. I mean, what a nasty snipe he hit. That was beautiful. Well, today, welcome back by the way, we are discussing Black Ops 3, one of the most controversial Black Ops games. You either love it or you hate it. For those of you who don't know, Black Ops 3 came out at the beginning of an era. The era of jetpack boosters and flying and no boots on the ground. It started with Advanced Warfare, and boy, this game was not great. So it made sense that when Black Ops 3 came out, boasting the same, advanced movement, people were pretty skeptical. Black Ops 3 is set even further in the future and focuses on this sort of environment. Everything is synthetic, high-tech weaponry, jetpacks, of course. And, some people really appreciated it, or were at least open to considering, these mechanics. And to them, the classic CoD formula was getting old. Other people thought it was a bunch of garbage, and would later say they wanted to go back to the boots-on-the-ground style. Both opinions have a fair amount of validity. Today, I would like to discuss my opinions on the game and discuss how this game has an opinion on the. Oh, wait, excuse me, what? Today, I would like to discuss my opinions on the game and discuss how this game has an impact on the future of CoD, especially with Cold War right around the corner. I'm pretty sure the free beta, open beta, is open this weekend. So hopefully I can provide enough information that you can make and create your own opinions too, or adjust your own, with the insights I provide. Or you can, just watch the video. So, let's start with this. The Actman is known for his breakdowns of video games, right? I'll probably mention his channel in the description. And he generally starts with the campaign. I agree with that. Makes sense, so let's do that. I know almost nothing about the campaign. Okay, my first experiences with Black Ops 3 were on my Xbox 360. Okay, I didn't really know about Xbox Live. I just enjoyed playing games with my dad. Right, and so we'd been playing Black Ops 2 together for quite a while, against CPUs, and we really enjoyed that. So one day, Christmas came around, and he surprised me with the third entry of the franchise, which was, pretty thoughtful of him. My dad's awesome. But for whatever reason, the Xbox 360 version is incomplete. It's frowned upon for that, and now that I have the full version of the game, quote unquote full version of the game on Xbox One, I just got it. I can see why. Content is missing. It's very clunky, and don't get me started on the graphics. Okay, it's not great. It is unfinished. That's the best way to put it. But I don't mind, and I still don't. I didn't mind back then. I still don't. Sometimes I still play Black Ops 3 on the 360. Anyways, this is pretty off topic, but for whatever reason, the 360 version didn't include the campaign, so I never played the campaign, and I still haven't. Considering the fact that I just bought the game, I'd say that's justified, but maybe I'll do a playthrough in the future. But from what I've heard, it's not really worth it. I've heard a lot of bad things, particularly "Train Go Boom," which was a horrible line from the campaign if you aren't in the loop. So, my conclusion on the campaign, it's not the game's strongest element. Not only that, it diverged from the main storyline, of Alex Mason. I don't know why they did that. However, the multiplayer. Oh my gosh, was the reaction of the people, they were so sick, I can't speak. Oh my gosh, the reaction of the people who were skeptical. I mean, they must have been, at least a little, because this multiplayer isn't horrible, actually. I mean, the new element of wall running and jetpack boosters actually worked out pretty well. They handled it a lot better than Advanced Warfare did, anyways. And, most of the maps aren't bad. Nuketown. Fun for respawn, not for search. A personal favorite of mine being Hunted, and the weapon choices are pretty broad. I think that the specialists were an interesting element to add to the game. It is a little annoying, however, that you can't really use lethals in search. It would have been interesting to have to choose between lethals and non-lethals, but, that's just nitpicking. Choosing to have kill streaks over score streaks is fine. I don't really care either way, but I do hear that some people prefer score streaks because it encourages objective play. That makes sense. But yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say. That's positive, and it doesn't really sound like a lot, but I'm being very nondescript, and that's mainly because I like it. When you enjoy something, it can be hard to say much about it, and perhaps a poor analysis on my end, but whatever. Anyways, there are a lot of problems to address. First of all, weapon balancing. The M8 and the VMP. Oh my gosh. There are so many weapons to choose from, and people constantly use two. I mean, really? Really, is that really necessary? And I mean, I know this happens a lot in other games too, like Black Ops 2 had it with the M8, MW right now has it with the MP5, M4, and 725, but it just seems ridiculous to another level in this game, especially with how broken they actually are. I always thought, for instance, that I didn't really like the VMP, but after a week of playing, I've had it for more than a week now, but my first week, I picked it up and I just could not believe how nuts it was. I mean, I still don't have the M8, but seeing other people use it, it's freaking nuts. Earlier I mentioned that I like Hunted. That was because I would always play gun game against bots on my 360. It's especially fun for a respawn party game mode like gun game. But you know what wasn't present for a majority of the game's life cycle? Gun game! And I heard that was necessary to win 50 games of gun game to 100% complete the game. Now, this complaint isn't really one that I can relate to. I wasn't, present for the main life cycle of this game, but come on, that's just having a functioning game. I mean, this is not something that should happen. And sure, they sort of fixed it now. I was playing gun game the other day, but this game is old now, I mean, I don't. It's easy for me to complain. I'm not a game developer, so things might have happened. If I were to give advice to Treyarch, right, it would be to pay attention to the smaller details. Finally, I wanted to mention supply drops, microtransactions. This should just not be a thing. Okay, it was so refreshing that Modern Warfare didn't have supply drops, and I think that's part of the reason it was initially so appealing to the community, even if everyone wasn't very quick to trust Infinity Ward. I mean, Black Ops 3 has more DLC weapons than actual weapons in the game. Not to mention how rare it is to get one out of a normal supply drop. I don't know. I also always hear about how team balancing isn't that good, how, heavy skill-based matchmaking is, especially in this game. I don't completely understand SBMM, so for now I won't talk about it, too much in depth, but it definitely seems like there's something, sort of like fishy about it. Like that legal document that was leaked. It was a patent that proved Treyarch was intentionally putting lower-skilled players on the team of a single higher one in order to make money. Or something like that. Again, I don't completely understand it. In sum, despite the fact that I've only been, really playing the multiplayer for a couple days, I personally enjoy it. And I don't mind the jet booster element of it. That's my opinion. Although the multiplayer might be a little iffy, let's talk about something that undoubtedly slammed it out of the park. Zombies. Holy smokes, dude. I remember so many years ago when I first saw the Shadows of Evil trailer, I was disappointed as heck. I said, why is there a story to zombies? That's the point of zombies. There's not supposed to be a story. Well, first of all, that statement made little to no sense. And second of all, I had no idea what I was talking about back then. Point being, I always frowned upon Shadows. Too complex for me. I loved The Giant, the remake of Derice. I saw everyone raving over Der Eisendrache and thought the same thing. Less complex than Shadows, but still needlessly complicated. Zetsubo seemed better to me, actually, and Gorod looked nice. Revelations looked really good. But in the 5 years since Black Ops 3 has come out, I've learned so much more about zombies. I'm no longer a kid who played Transit until 12 a.m. with my friend just for the laughs, although part of that still lives in every Zombies player. Now, I have a little more experience as to what makes zombies great. Black Ops 3 is the pure embodiment of that. I am extremely disappointed that they released this game with one map. But, I mean, people have said it before, I'll say it again, they could not have chosen a better one. Once you get the hang of what Shadows is, the complexity fades away, and the beautiful, almost simplicity sets in. In order to unlock Pack, you get to explore this beautiful, overridden city, collect gate worms, fight the ether, Margos and whatnot, and utilize the beast. I mean, that was a pretty horrible summary, but it's such a fun process. Unlike other zombies maps like Dead of the Night and Black Ops 4, the Pack-a-Punch process doesn't seem monotonous or tedious. Instead, not only does it feel purposeful, and very much an important key, no pun intended, to the main storyline, but it's fun. It's fun. It really is. Becoming the beast, zipping around the map to activate as many things as you can is a fun challenge. Opening Pack is not only rewarding, but it's fun. Also, crafting the Wonder Weapon also isn't annoying. And again, I will use Black Ops 4, a game that I enjoy, as an example. Getting the Blood of the Dead Blundergat. That's horrible. But in Black Ops 3, sorry, I can't think apparently, getting the Apothecon Servant, that's fun. I crafted it for the first time the other day. It just takes skill. And I'm not one of those people that needs a super large skill gap in their video game, but what I mean is you don't have to look up some complex tutorial online. I guess skill wasn't the right word to use, but do you get what I'm saying? You can sort of just play the game. Destroy Margwas and have fun, and you'll eventually get it. I wasn't even trying to craft the Apothecon Servant when I got it. I just stumbled upon all the pieces. To me, that's nice. To me, that right there highlights the simplicity of Shadows. As far as the other maps go, I still love the Giant and am considering getting it. Dreisendrach I actually have since I got like the quote-unquote gold edition of the game, but I haven't downloaded it yet. It looks pretty good. People are starting to appreciate Zetsubo more, which is kind of nice, even though I don't like spiders. And Gorod Krovi will always be a classic. Revelations, although complicated in its relationship with the community, is a nice wrap-up. And it has many. Sorry, I was just distracted by a text. It was a nice text. It was a nice wrap up. It has many satisfying and nostalgia-inducing callbacks. My favorite being Kino and Mob. I don't think it was lazy, really. I think it was more intentional laziness. I think having all of your Ether maps be reimagined, is lazy, like Black Ops 4. But the fact that Chronicles is something that exists, and the fact that Chronicles 2 was almost in Black Ops 4 is fantastic. It's that nostalgia that is captured in Revelations. I think that is a nice touch. So why does Black Ops 3 matter? What impact does it have on Call of Duty, especially with new Call of Duty games being released yearly now in this new cycle, supposedly, at least? Well, I think what Black Ops 3 showed us was that the genre doesn't matter. You can have a hyper-realistic game like Modern Warfare, and it can still be a great game. Just like all the past Call of Duties have been, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, even Black Ops 2 was, futuristic, but still pretty grounded. Or you can have a futuristic, hyper, jetpack boosting game that has such a horrible reputation nowadays, and it can still be good. That is the impact of Black Ops 3. That is what it contributed to our community. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your day.